I have some more interesting finds here in Antarctica to share with you guys tonight. It's a region of Antarctica that I hadn't explored at all. And when you come at it from the right perspective and the right angle, you can clearly see hand of man all over it, and more than likely not modern man. Now, just as reference where we're going, here's the part by Argentina. If you basically just go up to the center here and just go off to about 9:30, 10 o'clock, you'll find a mountain range that looks like it opens out to the sea here. One of the tricks of doing this is making sure that when you're looking at stuff, you're not really looking at it straight down. You got to keep the horizon up here and then come in this way. It's very hard to do, but once you see what I'm going to show you tonight, you'll see why you wouldn't see it any other way. Now, the first stop we'll make is something that you wouldn't see at all from directly above, and I've just labeled it Hidden Cross Mound. And it's actually a lot more easy to see when you click on night mode. See it here? There's a ridge right here, and there's clearly something underneath there that's been buried, but that's almost a perfect cross. I'm going to kick night mode back off. And of course, when there's stuff hidden, you will always find, and I've just gotten lazy and gone to regular numbers, these anomalous black edges. I'm up to 104 of them that I have found. Now, once again, here, you won't really see what it looks like until you get the proper aspect. And as you look at this, you'll see clearly these are artificially tracked structures. They are about 150 feet wide, so you're not looking at tire tracks here. And there's a whole bunch of them that are just all together. And strangely enough, as you move from right to left on the screen, the altitude decreases. Like from just this distance here, from right to left, about 150 feet. So we're definitely in a plane going down. All right, once again, more hidden corners. One there. And one here. And of course, as you look around and you realize they're trying to hide something, lo and behold, what looks like something very, very reminiscent of the Baltic Sea Anomaly. Let's see if night helps this. Yep, it does. As you can see here, you have the circle structure and then the cutout in the middle. Clearly something is under the ice here that is generating heat, causing the snow to melt, refreezing as ice, differentiating itself from the new snow that's falling. Don't worry, I know these are boring, but it gets way better, especially up here in the mountains. Now, Admiral Byrd had said that he saw mountains of precious gems. Well, as I came over here into this mountain range, there's clearly nothing but solid mountains and gems. Now this, honest to God, looks like twin cannon. It looks like a firing outpost that just got buried in the snow with two cannons sticking out. Just sticking out of the snow, nothing else around it. Very strange. And when you zoom in, this doesn't uncover in high detail, but you see giant veins of emerald and amethyst, and it's not hard to differentiate from everything else around it. And once again, the cobbling here, let me show you a section of this. I'll zoom out here a little bit. Now, these lines of cobbling are perfectly straight. For what's uncovered in the snow here is 2 football fields wide and 4 football fields long. And they're perfectly straight lines of this cobbling that I've shown before. It's clearly this was a channel. And this was the freakiest thing. Here is what looks like a structure that at one time was a representation of a pyramid with these perfect round planet structures all around it. All these perfect round... I can't think of any other way to describe this next to what is clearly a representation of a pyramid that's been carved into this, or I should say left uncobbled, because all of the cobbling around here is very distinct and very purposeful. And then we have this. And it's not hard to see what they were doing here. And we've got, well, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9, 10, 11. It looks like 11 distinct round circles of varying size. And then they go along the side here. This just doesn't look accidental. This doesn't look like, oh, I guess nature just decided to leave perfect round globs of snow around the pyramid here. And when you look out from above, directly above here, it looks very, very artificial, very hand of man. That this might have been a channel. I'm going to try to zoom around here. And show you this from the right angle. See, there's our structure here. And this just looks like a channel. It looks like, you know, they're going to come back someday and see the Eisenhower, and there's going to be people that say that no way those people were smart enough to create something this elaborate. But we did. I mean, comparatively speaking, this is really not that elaborate. It's just a lot of work, and when you look at the pyramids and look at how they did those, or allegedly how they did those, and here, once again, in an area that's just outside, we see a giant golden, it looks like golden structure, just outside of where they're uncovering. I mean, this could have been a holy place of some kind. And just a couple more hidden corners over here that just point to all of this. Now the next place, just the entire structure of it looks completely out of place. I mean, it's almost the shape of an arrowhead with these channels cut out of it. And down here, I've tried to find something that looks like this anywhere else, and I can't. We have this crater, this ridge, and what looks like some kind of a being, now I'm looking at it exactly upside down, standing over the edge of this cliff. I'm going to zoom around on this. Sorry about this. Sometimes I forget what angle things are at. Now when you look at this, you clearly can see two legs. And you can see what might be an arm, or maybe even wings, who knows? But it's not a rock, let's put it that way. And like I said, I'll get the coordinates for all this in the description. Here's a place where shadow shows something that they tried to hide otherwise. Over here, when you look at the ridge line here, you can match up these structures. Sorry. One second. There we go. With the shadows here. Like this mountain here is this mountain in shadow. So you trace it down and you can see things. Now here, you see something in shadow that's glowing with amethyst and ruby, or emerald and ruby, however you want to look at it. But you see no representation of it over here. So they've edited something out. Or they've changed the color over here to make you think that this ridge isn't covered in gems. See what I mean? It almost looks like somebody or something holding something. Standing. It almost looks like a human figure, like right here, and then arms, and when you look over here, it's not on the ridge where it would normally be. Because this right here is this here. Because you can see the little area that's curved right here, so it should be right here. And there is something kind of gray there, but I thought it was down on the valley floor. Now this here might just be, I don't know how to describe it. It's a perfect circle carved out of the snow here, and something human-like on the ground. Gosh dang it. Sorry about that. See if I can do this without going ground level. Right here. For some reason, all of the snow is all melted all around it in a perfect circle. And it has a very human-like figure to it. And back in here, it's kind of harder to see. This looks like these are pathways that people have been using. Once again, perfect 90-degree cuts. I mean, not smoking gun, but it looks like if there was some type of a portal back in here somewhere that we can't see, that would be a way out. Because it just doesn't, the whole area here seems very not natural. Because if this is, or was at one time, a water river, if you can imagine that, and this is where they went out, because if you follow this in this direction forward, it takes you right out to the ocean. It's a river of ice, but, and you can see over here, and I'll leave it, I guess, or 15 minutes. This waterfall, or icefall, whatever, we have, once again, another triangular structure that's separated what looks like at one time was flowing water. You see this structure out here that is protruding up through the ice. Because unlike, and I'm sure a lot of you know this, I'm not saying it, as for any other reason than to illustrate the point here. Ice, when it freezes, unlike many other things, expands and gets larger. Most things contract when they get smaller. Contract when they get colder. So on a scale like this, if there was some kind of a catastrophic event where all this froze in a very, very short amount of time, what we could be looking at are, the levels of the ice would be much higher than the levels of the water that would have been represented there at that time. Does that make sense? So there's quite a few things along what would have been the shoreline we probably wouldn't have seen or wouldn't see today for sure. And like I said, when you pan out of this region, this river delta takes you right out. I mean, it looks like it could have been their modern day New Orleans, or the equivalent thereof. Just a very large port area. And a lot of the evidence of that type of thing is seen. It's just really, really odd. Because when you look at ports, there's all sorts of structures that are out in the middle that, are used for loading and unloading and directing boat traffic. And I wonder if it's called the Eye of Africa, the Ricard structure, if maybe that was just an outpost of the people who lived here. That maybe they had found that particular region, that particular area, and were using that as just like a waypoint. And that's why maybe it resembles a lot of things down here. This area over here is where we started many, many months ago. So it's all kind of coming together, but a lot of different things. And like I said, I'll get this whole region into description-wise, where you can look at it for yourself. And like I said, December 2012 is the best year to go back and look at this stuff. So anyway, we will leave it there. Thank you guys so much. Like, share, subscribe. We'll see you next time.